right, so we're gonna go for Full Glam, my favorite. So let's moisturize the face. My face is super dry right now, and it's just like ugh. So I'm gonna start out with this glow recipe. I'm gonna start out with this. It is so yummy. My skin literally loves this. I'm gonna give it a shake and then spray. So to moisturize today, I'm gonna use my Roche-Posay, and I honestly love this because it's so like creamy and moisturizing. So I'm gonna go ahead and just moisturize my face. Because the key to like Full Glam is nicely moisturized skin. You wanna make sure, because you're gonna be using a lot of powders, a lot of everything, a lot of layers. So you wanna make sure that you're really prepping your skin really well. You wanna make sure that you don't forget the neck. So I'm just kind of wiping off any of the excess on my lids. I don't need a whole bunch of moisturization on my lids. I'm about to prep and prime. Generally, I love to do my face first and then go back in with my eyes. But today, I kind of feel like doing my eyes first. I cannot find my MAC paint pot right now, so I'm gonna just use my concealer. When in doubt, you can always use your concealer. And the concealer I'm gonna use right now is gonna be this one by NARS. It's the same one that I use, that I'm gonna use for my under eyes. So I'm just gonna use this all over my lids using the number 57 brush. I think I mentioned this one in my last video. But I'm gonna just blend this all out. And I love this brush because it's so dense, but it blends out so seamlessly. To set that lid, I'm gonna use a brush. This one is the Real Techniques, the contour brush, and I'm gonna use my one size powder to set my lids really quick. Just before you set it with powder, you always wanna make sure that you re-blend out your lid. Make sure that there are no creases, and then pack on your powder. Just a thin layer of powder is all that you need. I'm gonna use this under eye mask by Sephora. This is very slippery, so I'm not gonna do talking. I'm gonna just do a voiceover for this portion, just for the eyeshadow. Palettes I'm gonna use today are this one right here, by Vanity Makeup, and then the Supreme Nudes by Artist Couture. So I'm gonna be using these two palettes. And I like these two because I have a lot of neutral shades. There's a lot of neutral shades in here. And just in case if I don't have enough neutral shades there, then I definitely have some in this palette. I also like to have a towel or a t-shirt on me just in case. So that way, if I just wanna wipe off a brush or anything like that, I can just do that right on my, my t-shirt that's on my lap, okay? So let's go ahead and get into the eyeshadow. Okay, so first we're gonna use the shade Transcend from this palette, and I'm gonna stamp it on at first, and then I'm gonna just start using windshield wiper motions, and then I'm gonna start using circular motions to make sure that I get that color payoff just how I want it to be, soft and blown out. Going in with the shade Create, I'm gonna start getting that color all over the lid. Same brush, I'm not packing yet. I'm just gonna start doing a light blend all over the lid, and then I'm gonna go in with a packing brush. You'll see in a second. And of course, I have to use my t-shirt just to make sure that I get any excess product off. And now I'm blending into the crease just to make sure everything is well blended. And now I'm using my packing brush, going in with the shade Exquisite. And I'm gonna pack and pack and pack. Get it to be nice and even. I'm gonna pack up until I get to the lid. Gradually, I'm taking my time with this because I wanna make sure that it is blended and packed perfectly. Like, I don't want this to be splotchy and looking weird. So I'm gonna take my time, I'm gonna just blend. Now I'm gonna mix the shades Transcend and Create, and I'm gonna start to, right where it starts to look a bit more harsh, I'm gonna blend right into that crease, into that other color that we were using before, if that makes any sense. So I'm gonna blend until I get the perfect blend. Sometimes I gotta hold my lid, hold it up a little bit, that way I can get the most seamless blend ever. Using this eyeliner from MAC. Actually, I was trying to use an Eyeshadow. This one didn't blend as well as I wanted it to, but it's okay. So I'm gonna tightline first, and then I'm gonna get it onto my lash line. I really want to smudge this as much as possible, and because I want right there where the lashes are to be super, super dark. These were definitely falling down. That's why I could not talk with them on. Now I'm gonna get this into my waterline because of course I want it to be nice and smoky and black. Jumping into the other eyeshadow palette, I'm using that black to really smudge that liner. I want it to be nice and black and like really sultry. I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna create a little bitty baby wing, nothing too crazy. And this was like the perfect brush to do it with because I love a nice blended like smoky liner. Now using some micellar water and a Q-tip because it works the best in my opinion. I'm just gonna create a sharper wing, and like look at my wing, y'all. Isn't that cute? And for the edges, I'm gonna just pat it that way it's not like still wet or anything like that. Taking these babies off. Now my under eyes are so nice and smooth and love it. I could not decide between these two lashes. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna use this one. This lash is so pretty. It's called 90s Baby. And it's by Tatti Lashes. Like, oh my gosh, y'all. So I'm measuring the lash right now because I want to make sure that the lash is not hanging off of me. So I decided to cut some part of the inner lash and some part of the outer lash, and then I'm going to put it back on my eye and make sure that it does fit perfectly. I'm using one of my favorite glues. I like this glue because I can just take my lashes off and I don't have to fight with it too much. So anyways, remember that trick I was telling you guys about in the last video? Put your glue on the lashes and then stamp it. That's what I'm using this tool for, to stamp it onto your lids, and then give it some time to like really like get tacky, and then you're gonna go back in and then you're gonna put your lashes on, and boom, you should have no problems. It's gonna be perfect and seamless. And sometimes you gotta add a little bit more glue to the outer corner or the inner corner, let it dry, and then go back and fix it. All right, y'all, now that my lashes are on and this eye almost tried to kill me, let's go ahead and color correct. I'm using this one by LA Girl. It's just been the one that I've been reaching for. I'm gonna use this one by Fenty Beauty, and this one I'm gonna just get a little bit on the back of my hand. It looks like that, and it's a very, very light color. So I'm gonna use the same thing that I use for my base, for my eyeshadow. The same brush, and I'm gonna just blend this all out. I wanna make sure that I get under my eyes as well. All right, so it should look something like that. Lightly set it, and I mean very, very lightly. The foundations that I'm going to use today are going to be the NARS Radiant Foundation, as well as this Reboot Foundation by Makeup Forever. I've been loving to mix these two together, so I'm going to just put some in this plate. I do not need a lot of this because I'm mixing this anyway. I'm going to add this one here. And before I do anything else, remember how I told you guys about the all-nighter? I'm going to spray this directly into my dish. Mix it together, and then it looks kind of crazy, but this is what it looks like. So now I'm gonna just paint this on my face, working on one side at a time. You do not need this much foundation. I don't know why I put that much foundation on you guys. Oh my gosh. And I'm gonna just blend it out with my Morphe E63. You know, I told you guys about this brush. It is like literally one of my faves. Oh my gosh. So I'm just gonna blend it. And notice I don't have my my wig on, so I don't have to worry about the hairline. Oh my gosh. That's the best thing about not having a wig on. And then last but not least, I'm gonna add some of this to my neck. I think that when women wear makeup, especially if their décolletage is going to be exposed, y'all should be putting makeup down your neck. That way everything looks seamless. Now, it's one thing if it looks perfect already, but like it matches you perfectly, but like for example, my face does not match my body perfectly, so I always blend down my neck. That way everything is seamless. For concealer, I'm going to use NARS in the shade Sucre d'Orge. And I'm just popping it right there. I'm going to add it right there. I'm going to blend out my concealer with the number 47 brush, and I'm going to use my MAC Fix Plus to spray it with really quick. And then with my mini, the number 71, I'm gonna blend out just these tails. All right, so I'm gonna add a little bit more. Usually I'll go a little bit brighter. Actually, I am gonna go a little bit brighter. Hold on. So this is the shade Praline. I love this. I'm gonna add this right there. I love the undertone. See how it's not as warm, but it's just perfect. For my contour, bronzer, I'm going to use Rare Beauty. I'm calling this more of a bronzer because it's actually not cool. It's actually like really on the warm side. So I'm going to use this right here. You see how warm that is? So it's more like a bronzer, but I'm using it in place of a contour. So I'm going to pull this back some. I'm going to add this all right here. This girl, I got a 5 head, okay? The shade of this one is Full of Life by Rare Beauty, and then this one by Fenty Beauty is Truffle. So I'm gonna warm this up on the back of my hand first. Number 56 brush, and then I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna just start. You see how much cooler that shade is? Same thing with my cheekbones. Keep it right on top of my cheekbone, and I'm gonna bring it right there. And then for blush, I'm gonna use Joy by Rare Beauty. Now I did say we're gonna be full glam today, right? So y'all don't be afraid if these colors are so vibrant, okay? Like it's clearly like this is a lot. But in pictures, it looks so beautiful. And plus, things get toned down when you use your powder anyway. So just keep that in mind. I'm gonna use that first concealer brush, and then I'm gonna just start blending this right into that blush. I'm not going. All right, so we're gonna use our powder puff. Remember what I told you about the powder puff in the last video? We're gonna dip into our powder. You see how it's not evenly distributed? Exactly why we're gonna rub this into the palm of our hand, and we're gonna get this to blend into that puff, smoothing it out, okay? See, and now we have a nice even sponge. And I also like to tap it off as well. Now I'm gonna go back in, and I'm using that first concealer brush. I wanna make sure that everything is blended out and there are no creases anywhere. And I'm gonna just start to look up into the mirror, and I'm gonna just start to press. Okay, so you see how it is blended evenly? That is what you're looking for. Now for me personally, I do like to bake, especially when I'm going full glam. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that powder. And this time I'm actually not gonna wipe this off because I don't want a thin layer per se. I just want to press this in. Okay, just like that. Using one of my favorite brushes, this is a number 50 by Sephora, You guys already know because I think I talked about this in the last video. It is, it's so soft and it's gonna do, just watch. So first we're gonna set the face, and I'm gonna use one of my all-time favorite powders, and it's gonna be the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish powder. So I'm gonna use medium deep, and I'm gonna just get this all into the brush, just like that, okay? And then I'm gonna just start to set, and don't forget the neck. I'm gonna use this Laguna for my darker areas. I'm gonna use the other side of the brush, like this side. This is the side that I use. I'm gonna use this side. I'm just gonna set back here. For my blush, I'm just gonna use Peaches by MAC. It works. So I'm just gonna dip in and just press that right onto the high points. All right, so now let's finish the bottom lash line. I'm gonna go back in using that same brush. I never mentioned it, but it's the A18, and I'm gonna use Exquisite, and I'm gonna get really close to the lash line. I'm gonna connect that wing. Just because I want to use some of the same shades that I use on the lid, I want to make sure that I mimic that on the bottom. I'm going to use my Extended Play Giga Black Lash Mascara by MAC. And I'm going to just go ahead and coat my bottom lashes. And then I'm going to use Urban Decay's Perversion, and I'm going to wipe off some of this wand because there's like a lot of product on here. And then I'm going to coat my top lashes. Before I do anything else, let me just pinch my lashes together with that lash applicator. Now for the under eyes, I'm gonna use this Charlotte Tilbury powder, and this is the number 2. And that brush I was telling you guys about, this is the A11 by Ariel times Morphe, and I'm gonna just use this and start dusting away that bake, but also adding more brightness under here. Is left on my brush. I'm gonna just add that right under here. My powder, whatever blush is left over, I'm gonna just add that right on here too, and I'm just gonna dust this all over the face. I'm gonna add more of this black liner right in here really quick. I love how it just makes the eyes just like so nice and brown. Like, you see how pretty that is? I use Cool Brown. This is by ABH. And I'm gonna line my lips and then outline just a little bit. Now I just kind of took off some of that that powder that I used for pressing on that lid shade, but I'm actually gonna use it for my lips so I don't use a whole bunch of brushes because I'm lazy. And I'm gonna just blend out that lip liner. I'm sorry, but this is Peach Stock by MAC. It is a fave. And I'm gonna press it right there. Like, I love nudes, and this is like the best peachy nude of all time. And then I'm gonna use this 316 lip brush by MAC. And then I'm gonna start blending this into the liner. Now you can either go on top with just clear, or you can use a color that's similar to your lip. So I'm gonna use this one by ABH. This is butterscotch lip gloss. It is so yummy. I love it. And I'm gonna just dab it. Just like that. And if you need to define your lips a little bit more, you can use the same pencil, or you can go in with a deeper pencil. I'm gonna use Chestnut by MAC. It does a good job because it really makes your lips really stand out. Okay. I'm obsessed with the lips, like. Last but not least, I know that you're probably thinking, are you gonna actually spray any setting spray on your face? Well, I don't have to. My face is gonna be perfect all night. If I leave it like this until the next morning, it will stay. But for the sake of melting the powders a little bit, use this Veil Soft Focus Setting Spray by Hourglass. Let me know how you guys like this look, and let me know what you guys would like to see next time. Please comment below, like, comment, and subscribe. Of course, share this with a friend. Thank you guys so much for watching.